So I wanted to just quickly share something about the PCOS and diabetes course that I've done, because everything I've been talking about has stemmed from this life-changing experience I had a few years ago. I think I've shared in the past my experience as an energy healer where I've healed things that could never be healed. And those videos are still there, but just to reiterate to those who are new, I was ill from the age of 19 and I had sciatica endometriosis, which was undiagnosed, and I had PCOS, which was undiagnosed, or borderline PCOS, whatever they like to think. And by the time I was 28, I was in agony. I couldn't dance, I could barely walk, I certainly couldn't run, and I'd been deteriorating from the age of 19 to 28. And I ended up drinking too much because it was the best painkiller that I could find, because it relaxed the muscle, it helped with sciatica, and the prescription painkillers that I had been taking for so long in my early 20s was literally eating away at my gut lining. Now, if I wanted to get out of bed, I would have to get up 2 hours before I needed to get up, because it would take me 2 hours of crying in pain to do certain exercises and maneuver myself from lying in bed to being upright next to the bed. 2 hours just to get to a standing point. That's how severe the pain was. Now, I know a lot of people suffer with chronic pain, and you know what I'm talking about. Ruins your life. It's not nice. It's not funny. And I had epidurals in my back, orthopedic surgeons yanking me into place. They hadn't, in my late 20s, diagnosed the sciatica endometriosis. So they just said it was prolapsed and slipped discs from posture working in IT, and it wasn't. So when you have endometriosis, cells grow in the wrong place, and they can go anywhere. They can go on any organ, even move into your lungs. You know, it's very dangerous. Mine was all on my lower back between L2 and L5. So it caused a lot of pain and issues there. And it pushed the discs out and things like that. But they couldn't laser the endometriosis cells away, because it's too close to the nerves. I'd have been in a wheelchair more likely than not. So I had Zoladex injections for a year in my abdomen, which was breast cancer treatment to try and push me into menopause and shut my ovaries off, and to try and help with all this circular issues that I was having. And I trusted the medical profession and the NHS with all my heart, and I took everything they gave me. And over the years, it just progressively made me worse. And it never fixed anything. It never helped with anything. It didn't actually even really treat the symptom, because it just created more symptoms, so that that symptom didn't seem as bad as the other symptoms that came after all the help. So I started to really lose my faith in the doctors and the profession that we had, especially in the lockdown and everything, when the really good doctors were all forced out to retire with all this pension doctor stuff. And then we got a load of really unqualified, new, young, brainwashed GPs come in who really don't have any knowledge. They're just reading from a book in front of you, and they're clueless. And then they're telling me some boy that could be my son is reading from a book, and I could read a book. I could write a book and telling me what I need to do in order to get better. And then I say, well, I don't think that's going to work because I've tried that before. And he goes, well, let's try it anyway. I'm like, well, no, because I don't really just want to take medication. Well, if you're refusing medical advice, I'm like, no, we're having a discussion here because you're reading out from a book and I'm not actually textbook. Oh, God. I left my door open and there's flies everywhere. I've got to go and get some of those little sticks later because I've broken my little bat. My dog chewed my little fly squatting bat up. So I started to get more into holistic ways, and I got into energy healing. So when I was 28, the orthopedic surgeons gave up with the last epidural. Nothing was really working long term. I was wasting so much time at physiotherapists. It just hurt me all the time and never got me better. And they said, we can't do anything else for you. Steroid injections probably won't do anything more than what we've already done. So we want to put a metal plate in your lower spine to stop the discs jumping out. And I just felt it was all wrong. And I carried on with years of agony, told there was nothing else that could be done for me and I would just deteriorate. Fast forward a few years after I cured all that, and that's a different story, but I cured all that could not be cured. My dog was given 4 months to live with cancer and a heart murmur, all gone. Now, I'm not allowed to say I've cured anything because I'm not a doctor or a vet, but I did my stuff on me and my stuff is all cured. I did my stuff on my dog and it all vanished, you know, so make of that what you wish. Fast forward a few years and I got perimenopause issues. Now, endometriosis, PCOS and anemia, which I'd had from 19, are all due to imbalances in your hormone and things like that. They're all kind of interrelated and a lot of it is hormone imbalance. So when perimenopause began, my body starts to go through a huge amount of change, as every woman's does, as we reverse puberty with menopause and start changing how our body works for the next part of our life. Hormonal imbalance. Well, that triggered anemia, so I got that back for the first time in many years, which then turned my PCOS into diabetes, which then turned it into type 1 diabetes. And then even when I stayed flat and low and normal all through the day, even if I was fasting and not eating and not stressed and really relaxing, getting a good night's sleep, my glucose would surge from midnight all the way through in the morning. I'd wake up in the dangerous red just from sleeping and relaxing. So then they said, you've got Cushing's disease. Now, Cushing's disease is another hormonal imbalance that causes your body, for some bizarre random reason, to just start creating a huge amount of cortisol. So then your liver says, oh, you're in a flight or fight mode, creating loads of cortisol. You need loads of energy. So I'm going to create loads of glucose in order to help you survive. And my organs were killing me with this logic, literally through the night. So I was creating loads of ketones. I was really unwell. And they were trying to push me onto insulin and medication and label me as a type 1 diabetic. And I was saying, well, look, I really want to get some proper tests and advice here, because I've had many, many years of this stuff going on.